So this is a video of me doing some foraging for food in the Arizona wilderness. This is up north, a couple hours north of Cave Creek, north of Phoenix, in the Bloody Basin. And it's a beautiful day. It had been raining all day. The creeks were all flash flooded. The water had come through real fast the night before and then just kept roaring all day. So what I'm getting here, what I'm digging for, we call them Papago Lilies. Sometimes they're called bluedicks. And some of this info I'm going to tell you is from Charles Kane's book, Sonoran Desert Food and Plants. So you see I've got a good digging stick. And what these look like is a little, usually 3 or 4 shoots coming out of the ground that if you took a cross section, it's a crescent shape. Almost the feel of a green onion. The flowers, the stems, leaves, and the bulb, they're all edible. And they are real fragile, so if you just pull the stem, you'll never get the bulb. This was perfect conditions because it had been raining, so the earth was just so soft. What I like to do is I dig next to it, kind of dig a trench next to where I see the stems coming out of the ground. And then once I know I've gotten real deep, usually at least 3 inches, sometimes more, then I stick my digging stick down real deep and kind of pry them up. You can tell if you didn't go deep enough because the earth will move, but the stem will stay in the same place. These were some of the larger ones that I've ever found, especially those real long stems, real long leaves that you can see me pulling up there. And we've got so much rain this year that they're just growing everywhere right now. So this, to have so many bunched up, and I didn't even make a dent in what was around right there. You can see in my left pant pocket I've got a bunch of them in that pocket too. So they're just all over the place right now. So they've got these little bulbs on the end, kind of the size of a clove of garlic or so. The bigger ones that I've found have been about 1/4. And what you can do is you can eat them raw. They're really starchy. They kind of gum up your mouth like when you eat prickly pear raw. I prefer to cook them. You can either just leave them attached to the stem and throw them in the ashes of your fire, put some coals over them and bake them, and that'll bake them just like a little potato, and then you eat them and it's kind of like a buttery potato taste. Here you can see what those bulbs look like with the roots attached. So you can cook them that way, you can boil them. I like to chop up the stems and throw them in whatever I'm cooking and give you a little green there. They're very mild taste, they're not bitter. There are some lookalikes, so be careful because if it tastes real bitter, then it's probably not this. So I'm going to take them over here and we're going to wash them in the stream so you can see them a little better. This little ditch right here usually doesn't even have water in it. Give them a good rinse there. You can see the little bulbs with the roots hanging off them. They do have kind of a papery layer. I usually leave that on if I'm cooking it in the ashes, and then I'll peel that back after I've cooked them. But I'll show you here how that layer just comes off real easily, and just that bright white little bulb under there. Beautiful. Really good food in the desert.